My name is Stephen Theisel, and I am a teacher candidate at Grand Canyon University. This is the Foundations course, SEC 501, and one of the assignments we have to do is a disposition on our position as teachers. And there's a couple of questions that are asked of us, and this video is my response to those questions. So the first question, what dispositions do you possess that you think make you a successful teacher? Well, there's a survey that we had to take, and one of the biggest things that stood out to me was a lot of the questions that ask about an educator should more or less create the environment. They should make students be successful, and I don't know if that's really possible. What I feel has made me successful as the 4 years I've been substituting is I've always kept it real with my students while maintaining a professional tone, while ensuring that I'm performing the standards that are expected of them. I didn't just talk the talk, I walked the walk. But I also showed them that I may not be able to walk in their shoes, but I actually cared. And I tried to make the content relevant to them. So I hope that answers the first question. What dispositions do I need to work on, whether before I enter the classroom as a first year teacher? Well, for one, I need to have a better knowledge of my content in mathematics and sciences. Those are the two subjects I'm keenly interested in. Another disposition I need to work on is the attitude of the community. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the survey here. This one question that stood out was, educators should be sensitive to individual learning and social needs of students and embrace the cultural diversity of the community. Actually, I checked undecided, but the reality is I strongly agree with that. If you're not engaged in the community, how can the students or the community at large respect you, let alone what you're trying to teach them? Another one that stood out to me was teachers understand the impact of community involvement and servant leadership as it applies to the welfare of others in the educational setting. I don't believe that teachers necessarily understand the power of their action or inaction. I've seen teachers that after so many years they just get desensitized and go numb, and unfortunately that affects them as a teacher. So, but also one thing I know I need to work on as a first year teacher and as a candidate is I get attached too quickly. So I would tend to become more of a friend rather than the adult professional and mentor. So that's something I know I need to work on before I get into a full-time faculty position. The last question is a two-part question. And it's, what does a professional education look like? How do they behave? What standards guide their thinking and actions? Well, they certainly don't dress in basketball shorts and a muscle shirt like I'm wearing at the moment. No, they usually wear something more like slacks or jeans, decent shoes, a non-logo collared shirt, probably a button-up or a polo. Has been my experience as a substitute. Unless they're in PE, then of course athletic attire is fine. They behave like they know what they're talking about. They behave like they're here to deliver knowledge to young minds. Sometimes teachers can come off authoritative. Others come off too casual. I know I've been guilty of that a few times. The standards that guide thinking and actions, one is the Common Core state standards. That's the bare bones curriculum of what the state of California requires us to do as teachers. And we also have to think in terms of professionalism. All eyes are on you as a teacher. You are a role model. You may not be a president, you may not be a politician, but you're under the same scrutiny as far as parents are concerned. You're responsible for their baby for upwards of 2.5 hours at a time if you're on a block schedule, or 45 minutes on a traditional classroom schedule. So the biggest thing is you have to think of, what would a parent say if they heard you? Would you want your kids hearing one of your colleagues talking the way you talk? Would you trust your child or your niece and nephew to learn from someone who looks like they belong on the street corner, at the corner store, or on BART, rather than the person that looks like they're successful and going to a job down on Wall Street? Food for thought. I hope this helps, and I'm quite sure over the course of my time, things will change. But that's where I stand right now. So I hope that helps, and have a good day.